Hey, what's up, everybody? BDO 44 coming at you with another video. All right, LeBron James. He's posted something saying that he's essentially showed himself in real, like a photo, moving photo, so to speak, a still of him dunking the ball in the game versus the Nuggets, and it said the caption, "How long would they? How long will you be taken for granted?" Dot dot dot. Keep going, kid. And my take on this, he's probably frustrated with some of the energy he's getting from us, man. That's all it is. He's frustrated with the energy. It's like I said he was. His body language has been bad for the last two games. Um, I don't think he's happy with some of the chatter surrounding him in terms of us and what we're saying about how we're not appreciative of his approach, I guess, despite having solid numbers. I think he's probably looking at the front office saying they didn't build around him properly. They should have done some things differently. We know that. And how long is it taking for them to fix this problem? Clearly, our team is bad. We got some organizational issues, as I love to say, that need to be made fast, and they don't make them fast enough, as I always say. We do this every year. The Lakers always want to drag their feet making decisions that need to be made, and they're very easy to see early on, but for whatever reason, we love to drag our feet. This is a situation where 2 games in, Russell Westbrook should have been sent home. A couple of the other players on this team should have been shuffled for other players. These are the type of things you do when your window is as win now as LeBron James is. And like I said in a video that I made a little earlier about possibilities of trades, maybe we got something that we got kind of hung up behind the scenes. Maybe we're hoping that we could pull the trigger on some type of deal that's being held up. I also made a suggestion that maybe we should just go ahead and try to do a trade, try to see if we can get some shooters out of Utah, since they have contracts that match up very well with us, and I know they want our picks. We know they need to get rid of players since they're playing so well and want to get Victor Wembanyama. So I just look at all of this and I say, I want Kyrie Irving on the Lakers. But I also recognize when you get to a point, if you're the GM, where the plan that you had in place has to be tweaked a little bit, or dare I say, done away with. Because the whole purpose is to try to make us a good enough team to win a championship. And just in regards to the Utah Jazz, I said, if the whole point is to get Victor Wembanyama, you got all these nice pieces that are going to fit very well around Victor Wembanyama, but they're too good, and you need to be bad. So if you can't do something to make those pieces calm down from being hot, they're going to keep you from getting Wembanyama. And so that's kind of what we have going on in a different way. It's like if we don't take advantage of the fact that we have LeBron James on tap right now in a win now opportunity, doesn't come around very often, and the fact of the matter is, things have to be done quickly. As I said, if you don't take advantage of that truth and do those things quickly, your season is lost, and everything that you've done to get to this point is undone, and now it's going to take significantly more trouble to undo what's now done, which is more trouble. And, he could be asking for a trade very soon if we don't pull our heads out of our backside and get this man some shooting. That's what it really comes down to. I think the organization, if they were being run the way that we want them to be run, would have already announced that Russell Westbrook was being sent home. A couple of players have been shifted around, called up and sent down. And we would have seen, probably a small trade being made or rumors of a trade like this being close. Because it is desperate times. So people got to behave as such. And we do not have the time at this point, nor the path to victories that allow us the time to wait on such a trade like the Brooklyn Nets. If the Brooklyn Nets don't want to do a trade right now to help us get the piece that we want, then we're afraid we're probably just going to have to move on out of necessity. It's not even like that. It's not like, we're turn our mind away from what we think can help us win. No, we now reach an understanding that the trade that we wanted to make must be good enough to make us a champion. If it ain't that, then we didn't want to make a deal. However, since we started off the season so poorly, if we don't do something to get ourselves at least good enough, we don't have a season at all to begin with, let alone one to save or plans to get good enough to win a championship. We're not good enough to win a basketball game, like a game. So we have to start behaving as such, and we got to recalibrate what we're doing to fit that. And if we can't see a path to us being good enough to win a championship somewhere down the road on this thing with this season, then we really need to figure out what it is that we're trying to accomplish. What are we doing? If we're not trying to win right now, what was the last 4 or 5 months about? Why did we put these type of pieces in place in the first place? Because the only explanation for having this team assembled the way that it is because these pieces can be moved and traded and interchangeably shift around to keep flexibility for next year. So if the pieces themselves lose value because of the presence of being together on this team this season, then what do you really have that you're holding on to if not just a bunch of assets that are losing value by the second? This is the balance that Rob Pelinka must understand. What you're holding in hand doesn't hold the same value as time is progressing like we thought it would because of the pieces in place. They suck, man. These guys suck. I cannot stress it enough. So, either you do the things that I've been suggesting, obviously call up 40 Jones, I can't stress it enough. McCoy, call him up. Get Pippen in here. Get, the players that that you have that you're excited about in your G League. O'Neal, call them all up, all them dudes, and send the ones that cannot help us somewhere else. I don't care if we like them or not. I don't care if they have a name or not. It's about raising the value of what the Lakers represents from player to player to player in the short term. And when you do that, you allow yourself more flexibility to make the trades that are best for you. You buy yourself more time because you're a better performing basketball club and you can wait it out. We're not doing anything to help ourselves in the short term. Our coach ain't doing nothing to help this is what I'm talking about. Our players ain't doing nothing to help what we're talking about. Westbrook is somewhere else, so he's not doing anything to help himself for the team. It's like Bron is throwing a fit. He don't understand that in the short term, if he fixes all of this, he can get himself out of this equation. He can get himself some teammates to work with. It's like guys are not seeing themselves as a solution. And I just look at the situation and say, look, when you got problems like this, you can't have guys that are lacking in focus, lacking in belief, and lacking in desire. Because you got enough problems as is. If the team has a defeatist attitude, then there's no one going to do anything. It's not even about whether or not the team can get better or if the team can bring pieces too. Nah, guys don't even want to do the work it takes for whatever the circumstance is, as far as I can tell. Because the plan ain't never changed. We knew we weren't going to be able to hit a three-point shot to start the season. Why in the hell are we shooting a bunch of three-point shots? See, this is the type of thing I'm like, is the organization not communicating with the coach on what the plans of the organization is? Because we already know we have pieces in place that are only there because we need to fit them on the cap a certain way. So that tells you that your team is not a three-point shot shooting team. You know that. I told y'all we weren't a three-point shooting team on paper as soon as I seen the team assembled. So why in the hell are we sending a coach out there to have a game plan that creates open three-point shots for this roster? You see what I'm saying? Like if we were structured properly and had the plan in mind that I have in mind, Darvin Ham wouldn't have had that type of offense in his arsenal for this roster. He would have known what this team needed in order to keep the strength of the players on it high. Those volume shots have to come down. That was predictable. We don't have the players to shoot the ball. It's not like you look and say, oh, these guys are shooting well below their average. No, they're shooting what you expect them to shoot. So why the hell are we shooting a bunch of threes? These are the type of things that if you have the plan and the know-how to take yourself from this place to get to where we're trying to go, which is the championship, none of this is going on. None of this is going on. These are the circumstances, but these aren't how people are behaving in those circumstances. Because you have a game plan, you know what you need to do, you structure it a certain way, everybody knows what they need to do for the time being, and then we know when we get to a certain point, we can make the trade, so we'll shift into this game plan because we'll have the pieces for that at that time. Like, that's how you shift it when you know you're going after a championship and you don't have the pieces. I'm going to say this and I'm going to be honest about it. We don't have the mind for this. Guys ain't smart enough to do what they need to do to win. As a collective. I'm seeing it. Because the way this has to work has to go one way, and everybody's doing the opposite. This ain't smart enough. And like, I love to sugarcoat it and put it a different way, but I'm like, yo, you got to be precise like a knife. When you have a 1-year window and the pieces on the team are in need of trading in order for you to get to that championship path. It's like, what the hell are we doing? And you got a 1-year window? And this is how you're operating? But you've had months and months and months to plan this out. All right. This is stupidity, man. And then you look up and it's like, all right. Well, me as a fan, while I've been sitting here in this camera, I thought my team was thinking the way I was thinking, structured and ready for a plan. Naive of me to think that. Now I have to recalibrate and realize people are not even halfway thinking about what they should be. They're not even they don't even know that they have a timeline that they need to adhere to. They don't even appear to understand that players need to be played a certain way so that they can trade them. And it's like, well, Rob, why aren't you explaining this to the coach? Why is this something that Darvin Ham doesn't have worked into his mind? Because if Darvin knows what he should want, then he's putting them players on the floor to do only the things that they're good at, so that he can get them the hell off his team and get him the pieces that he needs so that he can run the offense that makes him look like the coach he was hired to be. As long as he's running the stuff out here he's running, trying to get them to do stuff they cannot do, it's getting harder for him. Does he know what to want? People aren't communicating properly. I swear to God, I'm going to say this and mean it. I should be running the Lakers. I should be running the Lakers. Because it seems to me that I have a plan that can actually give us a chance at a championship, and it seems like the people in place literally do not. They literally don't. Like, bro, if I was running shit, I'd have this done, this done, this done, this done. That piece would be over there. That dude would be down. That person would be up. Like, I got all this in my skull, y'all. I even have an idea what kind of lineups could help us out of the situations. If you listen to my video last night, I already told you. Wenyen Gabriel, Troy Brown, Anthony Davis, LeBron James, and who else was it? It was Austin Reeves. That's a lineup you can lean on. They help you defensively and offensively. Get Max Christie in that rotation for help in defensive situations. You limit your three-point shots because that lineup ain't going to shoot a lot of threes, and you go for the attack, defense to offense. You bring in Patrick Beverley and people like Scottie Pippen when smaller players, when it makes sense to do so. If you need to attack with scoring, then you pick and choose when Walker comes in the game and you make him attack going toward the basket. You never play Russell Westbrook, ever. Never play Russell Westbrook. You pick and choose when none's playing well based on what you've seen him do in practice. And if you don't have a set, specific plan to get Damian Jones lobs or put him in positions to play weak side, shot blocking basketball, do not put him on the floor. That is literally the only two things he can really do, man. He can't do nothing else. He can catch lobs and he can play weak side, shot blocking basketball. That is it. Those are his strengths. Anything else you ask him to do is outside his wheelhouse, and he's going to look bad doing it, man. Stop putting that ball on the floor. So these are the things that we just have to do. That's why I say get 40 Jones. He's a big body. He's going to be driving at the basket. He's going to lay the ball up. I've been telling everybody all day long about how right I feel I've been about players I've been telling us to pick up. My confidence is gaining by the second when I see the players that I've been telling everybody for 2 years to go off to get and pay attention to starting to pop off all at once. I'm telling you, Mason Jones is that player for us. Mason Jones. Please call him up. If he's not in our organization, get him out of wherever he is and bring him back to our team right the hell now. Those are the type of things our team needs to do. And for God's sakes, play Wenyen Gabriel, man. Most athletic player on your team with long arms. He's 6'10". Play him. These are the things that will help us get our first victory. If the Lakers do these things, we'll be fine. If the Lakers don't do these things, we need to consider what the hell we are going to do, because nothing else is going to lead us to any path that's going to help us get better. Not soon enough. Not soon enough. And if I'm on the other end of the negotiation table, I'm telling you the truth, Los Angeles. I'm fleecing you for everything you have. You wouldn't stand a chance against somebody like me at a negotiation table, because I know exactly how desperate we are, And I know exactly what everything I have is worth to you because of it. So prepare to overpay, LA. Just simply put, be prepared. Because the more these guys go out there and brick 40 shots a game, the more it looks good to me on the other side of the negotiation table. So if you think you're going to do anything without giving me 2 picks ain't going to be enough messing with me. I'm going to want more. And I'm going to give up less. So whatever it is you think you want, LA, you ain't getting if you messing with somebody like me. So that's how bad things are right now for us. That's how bad they are. And we don't even seem to have level heads to make quick decisions and stay focused on what needs to be done for us to be better. So like I told you guys, I think this team could lose upwards of 70 games. I'm not kidding at all. No exaggeration. There are 82 games in this schedule. I don't expect to win more than 11 of them. Because this stupid team has not learned what it needs to do to not get in its own way, on top of the decisions that it makes on purpose for controversy. So it's like it would rather be famous for being just wacky than just be a good basketball team that's very, very easy to run, and I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. So it's LeBron James saying he don't feel appreciated. As a fan, I don't feel appreciated. I feel like they've been blowing smoke up our backsides and really running around with their heads cut off like chickens, not knowing what's going on or how best to get out of their own way. That's what I've come to the conclusion of in looking at this franchise. And that's why I'm turning my attention away from Kyrie Irving, because it's like, I wouldn't bring him here. Not if I want what's best for him. Not if I want him to succeed. Nah, why would I bring him to the Lakers? That's the last team I would tell him to leave Brooklyn and go to. Seriously. The very last team. I would say anywhere but LA, bro. You leaving Brooklyn? Anywhere but the Lakers. And that's coming from somebody who loves the Lakers more than anyone else he knows. So, like, no. It ain't even about, oh, that piece can make us good. It ain't nothing about to make us good. What we need to do is revamp a lot of what we're doing, get rid of the people that cannot help us do those things, and expand our timeline for something that is realistic, instead of saying we're going to turn this garbage into an NBA champion with uninspired players. Nah, hell nah. No, this is as bad as it looks. And it's easy to see very, very early. So if changes won't be made, it will continue to get bad, and you're going to start seeing players get hurt. Because that's what happens. People get unhappy, and then bodies start keep picking up knick-knack injuries. It's inevitable. Guys don't want to be there anyway. So, I don't know why we haven't heard that Russell Westbrook has been sent home, but it only fuels what it is that I'm saying, that people don't know what the hell they're doing. I've been nice in this camera for a long time, kind, patient, but organizational decisions have to be made on time. And right now, we are late. We're late to the party. Everything that we need to do to save our season, we are not doing. And with every passing second, it's getting worse and worse and worse. With every passing second that we don't hear that the Lakers have done something to help themselves, this situation gets worse. So, I'm disappointed in my franchise. I'm disappointed in everybody that has anything to do with putting this crap together. And I understand how it got put together, as you guys know. But the result of what it is that we're seeing and the way that people are behaving as things are on fire is unacceptable. The house is on fire and nothing is fine. Make something happen. It ain't got to be a bad trade. We need the announcement that that dude is sent home. That's what needs to be done right now. BDL 44. I thank you all for watching. I'm out.